Hi, I'm Taylor Padani, and this is my audience. Right there, and them two. Am I good? Computers are integrated into nearly every aspect of our daily lives. And I'm not just referring to the desktop, the laptop, that's in a vast majority of the world's homes. I'm talking about, the computers that are in everything: cell phones, cars, vehicles, you name it. There's a computer probably in it. Whether it is a cell phone or the nearly 150,000 servers that Amazon uses. In my early years, I developed a huge passion for computers, just video gaming, and that leads me to where I'm at today as a computer science major. I'm studying in depth what exactly it means to be a computer. Due to the technological advancement early in the 2000s until the present day, every single form of computer contains a crucial component called the CPU. I will be discussing the CPU, which consists of the control unit, the CPU clock, arithmetic logic unit, registers, accumulator, and cache memory, and the buses. So firstly, I'll be talking about the purpose of a control unit inside the CPU. The first main point is going to be the control unit. It controls the synchronization of the components inside the CPU. It is responsible for ensuring correct operation by sending signals to the other components. It utilizes the CPU clock to determine the speed of which is normally measured in megahertz and gigahertz. Now that we've covered the control unit, let's move on to the ALU. The ALU stands for arithmetic logic unit. What's the purpose of the arithmetic logic unit? The simple answer is it does the math. It performs the complex functions and logical functions required for the CPU to send and receive data. This incorporates the registers and the accumulators, which are separate components that assist the ALU when processing functions of any kind. For example, if the CPU needs to perform simple addition, it would take the numbers inputted by a user and place them in two separate registers, then add them, and then store the answer in the accumulator. This leads me to the next point, moving on to cache memory. So what exactly is cache memory, you might ask? Cache memory is really exactly what you might think it is. It's a smaller form of RAM, which is the most common form of memory that most people are familiar with. It takes the instructions that are sent to the CPU and stores them on cache memory. Now, cache memory is located directly on top of the CPU for quick access, the quickest access of memory in the computers. RAM is stored outside of the CPU, so I won't get into depth about that, but the RAM stands for random access memory, and it stores any information and instructions that the CPU, that the cache memory doesn't have space for. Finally, I will discuss the internal buses. Now, when I say buses, I'm not referring to the big yellow school transportation. I'm talking about the internal communication buses that are on any microchip or CPU or any internal component. They send signals at extremely high speeds so that the instructions and information can be translated to each component. The three main types of the buses are the address bus, the data bus, and the control buses. The address buses carry memory from devices such as input and output devices. And what I mean by input and output, I'm referring to mouses, keyboards. Output devices would be monitors or projector screen. The data buses send signals between the CPU and the other components as they talk, so to speak. The control buses carry signals and CPU clock pulses to and from the control unit to the CPU to different other components in the computer. So in conclusion, we learned that the CPU consists of several components internally that all work together to perform complex functions that are essential for the computer to operate properly. The first component we discussed was the control unit, which utilizes the CPU clock to ensure that all other components are synchronized. Our second main point is the arithmetic logic unit, or ALU, which, as you may know, does the math. As now you know, does the math, either complex or simple. The third component we covered is the cache memory, which stores the instructions to be fed to the CPU quicker than RAM. The fourth and final piece of this complex puzzle is the bus system, which is a pathway embedded into the microchip of the CPU that carries the signals to other components. Now you know the basic components inside the CPU, which is the most essential part of any computer system in the world. Thank you.